Is he okay?
I don't think so, man. He doesn't look too good.
Paul, maybe you should give me the ring. You don't look good, man.
Yeah, you don't look good, man.
Stupid cohort! Stupid James! They just want precious for themselves.
Hey guys, and welcome back.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Thank you.
And nice to have you back too. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And ho, ho, ho.
Waka waka bing bing. So, we've been to the movies, and did we watch a Christmas movie?
Well, there was this guy with a long white beard, and it did snow in the movie.
Yeah. So what did we watch?
We watched Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim.
The War of the Rohan.
I am not.
Or
in Norwegian, The Battle of Rohan.
That's way easier.
Yeah, that's way easier. I'm not even trying to pronounce it. No,
yeah,
not happening.
So what is the War of the Rohirrim?
Well, it's loosely based on the story of Helm Hammerhand.
And this is an animated Lord of the Rings movie.
It's an animated Lord of the Rings, but it's in the same universe as Peter Jackson's movies. He's one of the producers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is in the same universe as those, but not in the same as the Amazon stuff.
Not as the Amazon stuff, no.
Well, I hear you guys talking about this. Just want to let everyone know that I'm a noob to this. I saw Lord of the Rings, I think, once. And I haven't read the books.
Yep.
So a lot of this is new to me. But just think of me, coming with a perspective from the outside in.
Yeah, but that's good, because we're going to have probably because Paul has read some of the books. I love the movies, and I watch them probably every year, but I haven't read any of the books, so we're going to have probably 3 different perspectives on this.
That's cool. Yeah, see what happens.
So, just very briefly, Paul, would you like to tell us what the movie is about? You said, it's based on the life on deeds of Helm Battlehammer. I'm getting it wrong already.
Yeah. Well, so the story is about what's his name again? Freka.
Yeah.
Who comes to ask Helm about his daughter's hand, or not for himself, but his son Wulf.
Mm.
And this doesn't happen, so there's the war.
Yeah, that's it. So a failed marriage proposal leads to a war.
Yeah, basically.
That's what we have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Freka gets his face punched out.
No, spoilers, dude! Spoilers!
Oh, we're not to do spoilers?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, why not? Our videos are usually just straight into the spoilers. So, and we do this every time.
yeah, that's true. That's true. Sorry about that.
We come with an offer to strengthen Rohan.
Hera, daughter of Helm, I, Wulf, seek your hand in marriage.
Our fathers speak as if I were not even in the room.
I do not want to marry you.
You do not seek an alliance. You seek a throne. You will live to regret this, old man. He's dead? You will pay for this with your life.
Yeah, so Freka is like a chief lord, and he wants his son Wulf to marry Hera,
which is nameless in the books.
She is in the books.
The marriage proposal is in the books, but that's about it.
So they've made this story about her, but she's not a character that it kind of exists in the Lord of the Rings books.
They did say in the beginning of the movie that it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like this is the untold story.
Yeah.
Untold story of the person that Tolkien didn't write about that has been shoehorned into the story.
Yes. Basically.
Basically.
Just before we continue with all the stuff we're going to go through, did you guys like the movie? Would you recommend people not having seen further than this far in the video and not having had more than mild spoilers, turning off the video and going to the movies and watch this, or would you say it's a pass?
Simply said, if you want Lord of the Rings ruined, go watch Rings of Power instead.
Okay.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah. You like this one? The Rohan. Halfway.
I gotta say, for a movie by itself, it's okay.
Yeah. It was decent, but it didn't do anything new.
No.
And you kind of knew where a lot of the plot, like, you knew where the plot was going.
Yeah, it was very predictable. I mean, when you and I were sitting in the movie
theater, we
were guessing and hitting it every time. It was actually a little annoying.
I would say also, like, if you are a Lord of the Rings, if you're a fan of the movies and you're not very picky and you just want more Lord of the Rings stuff in the Peter Jackson universe, I guess.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's December, so why not go and watch?
Yeah, sure. Why?
If you like Rings of Power, you probably love this.
Yeah. Okay.
It's basically Mulan shoehorned into Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Okay. Nordic version. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah.
It was very
with a Greek name.
Hera. So let's just go through the characters and cast. Do we have any famous voice actors in this?
Well, you have the narrator is Miranda Otto, who played Eowyn in the original trilogy. So she narrates the story,
which is fitting.
Yeah. You have Brian Cox.
Cox?
I said Cox.
That's with the C, my friends. OX.
And an ox.
An ox.
You have Brian Cox. I said it again. As Helm Hammerhand.
Cheers.
Cheers.
He was... Should we start with his character then?
Yeah, are we going directly into the... Yeah, sure. We can do that.
Character by character.
Okay.
So, he, in my opinion, was the best part of the movie and the coolest character in this
He was
movie.
awesome.
Absolutely.
When I watched this movie, I was thinking, I wish we've had a different movie in a different style focused on him and about him. And I would be more...
Like in the book.
Like in the book.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, he reminded me of Conan the Barbarian.
Yes, he did a little bit.
Like an old...
wider version.
Yeah. He was badass.
Yeah, he was pretty awesome, though.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows why his name is
Hammerhand.
Hammerhand, yeah.
Already from the beginning. So we're going into mild spoilers. I will try to keep it spoiler-ish free, but mild spoilers. That's not going to happen, is it? But already from the fist fight with Freka. Freaky Freka.
Freaky Freka. There you go.
I didn't do anything. I just gave him one little punch.
I only hit him once.
Yeah. He only hits him once and he breaks his neck and kills him with that one punch.
And that's why they
call him
Hammerhand.
Yeah.
So it's not because he held a hammer in his hand when they found him.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Okay, who else do we have?
You have his...
daughter.
Yeah, his daughter. Hera.
Did you think she was a good character, a good female lead?
Yeah, she was an okay character in my mind. She was basically Mulan.
Yeah. Did you guys think she was very typical Mary Sue or a girl boss or or was she alright?
I think she was. I think she was kind of alright.
It wasn't.
It didn't feel as forced as say Ray Palpatine.
Yeah.
What
about you, James?
I mean, for me, she wasn't really pushed as she should have been the big boss and everything. She did come out and had some good ideas that would have saved probably the kingdom a few times. But she wasn't overly masculine either.
No.
So
she was balanced. There were times where she felt a little bit like a girl boss, but then throughout the movie it was pretty balanced because she was kind of in the background of things going on, and I mean, she's very relevant to how this goes, but she's not the only force behind the battle. She's helping out. She has good ideas, as you say, and she's not even allowed to fight in the battles.
No,
but she does anyway.
It's like Mulan.
Like Mulan. So it's literally Mulan in the Lord of the Rings. But I'm like half of the time I was thinking like, this is just a very perfect character, and then there were scenes like, oh, okay, it's all right. But then I was going a little bit back and forth.
I think I forgot it was Lord of the Rings until you get some of the little clues, and it was a different story in my head.
And this could have been like completely out of Lord of the Rings and just some fantasy or Viking story or something.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was reminded of the Vikings. So the round shields that they had, the weapons that they were using, where it was placed, or what it looked like where it was placed.
And I think if it wasn't a Lord of the Rings movie, I would actually like it better, because now you have a character shoehorned into a story where she basically is just mentioned like once in the book and not by name. And
she kind of changes that whole story by being there.
Yeah.
And having such a big part in it. Yeah, I guess that covers her.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Then you have her brothers, Hama and Haleth.
Larry Hama.
Which one is which?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Haleth was the big guy, right?
Yeah.
Haleth was the big guy.
Yeah. And Hama
Hama
was the archer guy.
He was the archer guy.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. What do you want to say about those guys?
I felt like they played a minor part in the movie, whereas they should maybe have played a bigger part.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think the bigger guy.
He was cool.
He was cool, but they also made him a little more of a brute. You know what I mean? He wasn't. He didn't. Yeah, he was muscle.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
and followed his dad around.
You know what those two brothers reminded me of?
What?
Hector and his little brother in Troy.
No,
Paris. Yeah. Paris. Yeah, that's also Legolas, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So, because like he was the little more frail guy with a bow, and his brother was this badass warrior. It was kind of the same kind of style.
You're saying something there.
Yeah, I like those, and I wish, again, like, if this had been written in a completely different way, we could have had a very cool story with them being more in focus. But we are not allowed to have those kind of characters anymore.
No. Moving on. Olvin.
The Shield Maiden.
The Shield Maiden.
I thought she was alright.
I thought so too.
I liked her better than Hera.
I don't know. I don't know who voiced her, but she was pretty terrible throughout the whole movie. Like, I didn't believe one single line delivered by her voice actor. But the thing that bothered me was like the whole fight on the bridge, where she's with that little
round shield,
and
people are running past her.
Yeah, and she's like being all badass.
I
had more problems with her than Hera.
It's kind of the same thing when Hera's kidnapped, and like they send in one warrior to sneak in, and it's her character. But then again, she was supposed to be this experienced fighter from previous wars, and she had fought next to Helm Brunor Battlehammer or whatever. Helm's deep guy. Helm.
The Hammer Fist dude.
Hammer Fist.
And
Hammerhead.
And her backstory gives her, there's a reason for her being this great warrior.
Yeah.
Like, that was when all the other warriors of Rohan had fallen, the ladies had to pick up the fight. And
is this from the books, or is this also shoehorned?
Good story. Good question. I'm not sure actually.
Because they talk about this faction on the they have the banners hanging off on the wall with all the different factions, and they honor all these different. But then they were considering to take down the banner of the Shield Maidens. So I was just wondering, is this is the movie going there and doing the whole? Yeah, I'm not. It felt for a moment it felt like it was going to be very lecturing on modern politics, but it didn't go there.
No.
So my question was, are these Shield Maiden, do they exist in the books? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you guys know? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Now, she didn't bother me, and her voice acting wasn't that bad in my opinion, but what about you?
Should we talk about voice acting?
No, we still have a couple of characters to
go through. Yeah,
cover before. But
I think for her as a character, it was a good supporting character.
Yeah,
I feel like there's one thing Warner Brothers does better than Disney, and that's female characters. They don't they know how to empower women without making them girl boss or Mary Sue's or So the only thing that bothered me was the whole shield thing on the bridge. That was kind of
okay. Who else do we have? We have Freaky, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't do much except propose and get punched
in the face.
Yep.
So we have his son Wulf.
Well, that's right, Wolfie boy.
Yeah. He was like the main bad. In the movie.
Yeah, and he was basically how do I say this without spoiling? I'm really good at spoilers.
No, we're into spoilers now.
Yeah. But he was thrown out, and then he decides to. Well, he managed to gain power. Yeah.
Well, he was Hera's childhood friend, and he did actually like Hera, but not only did her father turn them down, but she did as well, and that's along with her with his father being punched in the face, kind of tipped him over, and him being banished, and
you see, he comes off to me like this pathetic, half-bad, toxic guy, from the start. He has no redeeming qualities, and he halfway gets presented they were friends, and he wasn't that bad until his dad gets killed and until he's kind of rejected by Hera. But then you see the flashback when they're kids, and he's a complete psycho. They're playing around and fencing a little, and then he loses his shit and almost kills Hera. And that's when she cuts him over the eye.
Yeah, hence the scar.
Yeah, and that was very. We could have gotten some nicer scenes if they were supposed to be childhood friends, and that's the only scene we see with them.
And that would make the dynamic between him and Hera better.
Yeah, if we had some nice scenes with them hanging out,
and evolve the story, and
So that was a bit stupid, and I feel the only thing that bothers me with his character is that I don't know if he's supposed to be a fierce warrior or just pathetic. The movie couldn't make up its mind.
No, there's a lot of flip-flop in there.
Because he has to be fierce and smart and badass to get in the position of being the leader of all these tribes.
Well, that's the thing. How do you get there? You don't get there by being a schmo. Yeah.
That's the problem I have. Because
all the calculating he did to get there, right? Them following him.
We don't see any of that.
We don't see any of that. We just see him being an insecure boy.
Yeah, Darth Emo from the Star Wars movies. Well, I don't know what's his face. What's his name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, Kylo Ren. Yeah.
Krylo Ben.
Kylo Ben.
And also this character also bridged Lord of the Rings to Game of Thrones. Because his banner wasn't like the House of Stark's banner. It was the same banner. And there's even a line in the movie, "Hey Wolf, the winter is coming."
Yeah.
And he's got the wildlings in with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's true. He's Jon Snow.
Yeah, he was like a bad Jon Snow. He had the same accent and everything. Like
he did.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he wasn't a very good character in my opinion.
Nah. All right.
Moving on.
Since we're covering the characters, should we go to voice acting?
Yeah, sure.
This is probably some of the worst voice acting I've ever seen in an animated movie ever. And this is what drags the movie down for me mostly. It's the voice acting.
Timing was bad too.
Yeah.
The timing between conversations with the
But I thought that was the animation just as much as the voice acting. Or the combination of the voices.
It might be the combination.
Yeah.
I feel like if you've seen an anime like before, if you watch the Japanese versions, they are usually much better.
Yeah.
And the American dubs are really bad. And this is an anime.
Same.
So this is probably why they didn't...
But this was this was made to fit the American voice acting, not like it's with the anime you have the Japanese that is the original.
Yeah.
So that made sense, but in this case I don't know why the animation and their voices and their mouths didn't fit that well, and you had these awkward pauses in between here and there.
Yeah, and they had like the pauses and going back to Wulf, I felt like he was too over the top when he delivered his lines, and Olwen, she was like she was just reading her lines of the script. Like Brian Cox was probably the only one.
He was awesome.
I believe
that character. I definitely want to see more of him.
I want a movie about him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so that's the voice acting.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot a couple of things. Like, you had Miranda Otto.
Yeah.
As Eowyn, as the narrator, and there's also we also have Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
And they used some of his cut lines from the old.
Yeah, because
trilogy.
I thought they had done the same vile thing as they always do.
Yeah,
like
the AI
voice
No,
stuff.
these are lines cut from the old movies.
All right, but that's better.
Yeah.
And they were allowed to use this stuff.
They were allowed to use it. And, okay, so there's two, but there's two more actors. There are two more actors from the old movies.
Easter eggs.
And that's...
that's when the movie reminded me what's the Lord of the Rings movie. It's like, oh, that's right, Lord of the Rings we're watching.
Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan. Merry and Pippin. Not as Merry and Pippin this time. They were the orcs. In the mountains.
The two orcs we get to see.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's a voice cast or acting. Animation.
Well, the background was amazing.
The background was amazing, but the characters were
cheap.
Stiff sometimes.
Yeah. It was cheap. I was a bit surprised it was actually that it looked rushed.
Yeah, it reminded, like, it was like Zack Snyder directed. the characters. Like Peter Jackson did the landscape and Zack Snyder he did the characters. Yeah.
No, what I was thinking when I was watching this movie, I was like, in the beginning at least, I was like, okay, it's an animated movie. When did I watch an animated fantasy movie last? And it was Beowulf. And that animation is outdated today. But all in all, I still feel that was a better movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I would have to watch it again, but
I have to be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I sat down in a seat and I was like, I paid for this.
Yeah.
No, but
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, if this was a direct to Blu-ray video, I would probably have a completely different opinion about it.
Yeah.
But this being a theatrical release, it's just not good enough.
No,
and
because I actually thought there was something wrong with the movie at first, the way the characters were moving.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 2024. You would figure you put a few more frames in there for the movement of the characters.
2024?
Yeah. And also,
you know what I mean?
And also, moving a little bit away from the characters and style. Okay, actually, it's more about the style.
Okay.
It's an anime.
Yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah.
But it's set in Peter Jackson's universe. And you have like characters doing like Dragon Ball, Naruto moves and flips. That doesn't.
But not all the time.
No, not all the time.
Yeah, there was one scene where Hera was fighting with one of the lords that was supposed to be with the king.
And here is where I thought her character wasn't suddenly a girl boss, and I was like, okay, this is okay.
Yeah, she got slapped around.
She got slapped around
and
she got beaten up pretty bad.
And then later on, 3 minutes later, she's an amazing fighter.
But basically, it's the way Helm Hammerhand moves around like he was Hulk.
Yeah,
like it just doesn't fit the Peter Jackson universe.
Not that he's fighting this troll, just like bare-fisted. But again, that was his name and stuff. I don't know. But back, just one more thing on the animation and all that. Do you guys think people who are into anime will like this? Because maybe we're just not the audience.
That could very well be. I mean, I've watched. I've watched some anime in between, usually against my will. But anime is okay. Sometimes the story is pretty good. It's fine. I just felt like this, like it was. I don't know.
It's cheap. Like compared to go back to the 90s, you have Ghost in the Shell.
Studio Ghibli stuff.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli. You have Akira. Yeah, there's so many good animated movies from like decades back.
Yeah,
and they are
better.
So far above this.
That is
movie.
true. I agree with that.
Well, let's consider something else. Of course, I might be completely wrong about this, but back then, you didn't have all the CGI, all the computer graphics. Everything was hand done. Maybe that art isn't as strong anymore as it was before, unless you're in Japan.
And that's what I was going to say. Is this made by like a Japanese crew?
I think this was made by a Japanese crew.
Really?
Yeah. Really?
Oh, yeah.
It feels American made.
Yeah, but it's an American. No, it's a Japanese movie made for an American audience.
Okay.
So yeah.
Maybe they got like the wrong people working on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not too content with the style, the visuals, and the animation. I think a lot of people are, though. Like, based on what I've read online, a lot of people like the animation.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay.
But I agree with both of you guys.
Yeah.
Moving on to some of the highlights. The soundtrack. I thought the music was beautiful. It was
nice. It was nice to hear those.
It was fitting for a Lord. Was fitting for a Lord of the Rings movie.
And you recognize some of the familiar songs and tunes.
Absolutely.
And that was cool.
Yeah.
That and the movie suddenly going into fantasy mode was the only things that kind of reminded me that we're watching a Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
I kept forgetting it.
I kept forgetting it too. Little
the
Easter eggs.
The Easter eggs here and there. Yeah.
Once they get to Helm's Deep, it starts to feel more and more like a Lord of the Rings setting. It starts to resemble the Two Towers movie and the Battle of Helm's Deep there.
Yeah.
Because you have some of the similarities. They have to just stay inside and
But I still feel like
wait it out, wait for reinforcements.
You have some of the same cast from the old movies. You have Peter Jackson, and the landscaping looks like Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
But story-wise and the way they shoehorned Easter eggs felt more like an Amazon. It felt more connected to Rings of Power than.
I haven't seen that. I mean, I tried, but I just couldn't.
No, but the way they did the Easter eggs, it felt the same way. Yeah.
But there were also some things here and there that really annoyed me, stupid things the characters did that just didn't make sense. When one character we forgot, Hera's cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
He was actually a decent character.
Yeah.
When he was fighting the elephant and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was just like the way that he was just riding towards the beast all by himself. That felt stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then she picks up the horn and drags him into the swamps to get killed. To get the elephant killed by Cthulhu and stuff. That's when I thought like, okay, she's the girl boss.
The movie went full hentai.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually like Cthulhu in that one.
Yeah, it's a good Cthulhu movie. So you have
that was some of the worst animation in the whole movie. The
elephant versus Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God.
But then, like, also back to Brunner Battlehammer. When he opens the door and he like shoves Hera inside, and then he's like telling her life story, and then like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't join you guys. I have to stop these guys because there's no time to close this door and come
there's
in.
68 guys 3 seconds behind him.
Yeah.
But he's talking for
They're
48 minutes.
standing and waiting in line.
Well,
that was stupid.
okay,
If he had the time to tell that story, he could have just walked in and closed the door.
Yeah.
And James said like, oh, so they're going to find him like frozen, and then you have this pile of bodies around him, and that was exactly what went down.
The next cutscene was that. I was like, oh, that was pretty good.
And he was holding his hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And like, some people said that, yeah, but that's just because all of this is based on legends, so that's probably not how it went down. He probably was lying down, but like the story is told as a legend, so that's why he's standing with his hammer. Sure, but why did they present it like that to us as the audience? And again, like,
where did the hammer come from?
Yeah, where did the hammer come from? And if he was unstoppable and he killed everyone on that bridge, he could have tried to knock on the door again, right?
Yeah, so I'm done.
I don't think he just froze mid-air with a hammer in his hand. Like, did he kill everyone? And that's like, I'm going to freeze to death. I'm going to strike this really cool pose. Because he could have knocked on the door again, like, hey guys, it's only me. Let me in. Or he could have tried to climb back up the wall or something. He was
that was weird.
He jumped down like a mountaintop to fight the cave troll. He could have done something. He didn't have to die that way. That was just like the story wanting that to happen. And, very forced.
Yeah.
A lot of the actions they all did. Also, Wulf was just stupid and was annoying. Like, why would he do that? Why would he leave the plans on a table next to the cell she was in? Right. And the door wasn't locked, so she could just see all the plans on the table. Yeah. So these things annoyed me throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
And more stuff that I can't remember right now. Okay. Is there anything else? Is there anything more positive to say about this movie?
Well, if I was going to throw a dice at it between 1 and 6, I'd give it a 1.5.
Really? That low?
Yeah.
Then you definitely haven't watched The Rings of Power.
Nope. Okay, really?
Okay, let's go on a 10. Just to...
yeah, between 1 and 10?
Yeah.
Okay, best 4?
Okay. Paul?
Yeah, I think I agree.
About
4 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I was going to give it higher, but after this whole discussion and seeing how much we actually didn't like, I'm also going to end up on 4.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to give it like a 6 or a 5 at least, but there was just too much stuff being a bit off.
Yeah, definitely. I think either they ran out of budget or there was communications issues between the Americans and the Japanese making the movie. I don't know.
This is the beginning of Warner Brothers going full Disney Star Wars on Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, great start.
Yeah. They are gonna milk it until people beg them to not just do anymore, and then they will continue.
Yeah.
I feel bad wearing the Star Wars sweater now.
But okay, so do you think there's any hope for movies like this coming out and being? I mean, it can only be better than this.
There is
going forward.
There is another live action spin-off
that is
coming in 26, I think.
Okay.
The Hunt for Gollum, where Andy Serkis is back.
Okay.
Ian McKellen has expressed that he wants to be back, but they have to hurry up. Before he, yeah.
Oh man.
So they are planning to milk it as much as they can.
Yeah.
And
if it comes out in December and it's live action, I mean, it can only be
the next one is live action, as far as I know.
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'll give it a go.
Me too.
So, if you're completely bored and want just more Lord of the Rings, go watch it. If not, save your money.
Yeah. Save it for Max.
Yeah. Or if you want a Christmas movie and Red 1 is still going, go watch that instead. Yeah.
My God, we actually recommend
Red 1
over
before,
Lord of the Rings movie.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Any final words? I'm done with this crap.
I'm pretty much done with this. Yeah. As well.
Okay. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you're more positive about this movie and you like it, let us know what you liked. Yeah, and we're going to do more stuff in December, so tune in again, and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys. Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We didn't sample any crappy Christmas candy or anything.
No.
I'm still full.
Yeah.
I'm still drinking the diabetes.
Yeah. I'm going to have a Christmas coconut macaroni.
Macaroni? I'll have one.
Mm.